I want to take a minute to go over the pyramid model when it comes to decision making in the classroom. Many of you submitted ideas that were fine, but I don't really think you understand how each level changes. And I wanted to emphasize this and clear up any confusion because it is important for teachers to know the different steps, not only to solve conflict, but also to be able to build up the child in a positive way. Uh, I look at the situation in the video with the little boy at nap time and I see a negative. I see teachers frustrated and I see a little boy that's just miserable. And chances are this isn't the first day that this happened. Chances are this is going on every day at nap time. And that means the teachers dread nap time and poor little Joshua is going to dread nap time every day. So I want to go over some ideas shared by your classmates and also by myself in the situation to show you how we can get to an endpoint that hopefully is positive for everyone. And again, every time we do this, it's going to be different and it's going to be different for different children. So that's why I'm going to share a lot of different solutions because what works for Joshua may not work for another little child someday. And so there's not one size fits all problem solving. So let's start with the bottom of our pyramid. This is where our biggest push is going to be for all children because um, this is going to be happening all the time. If you look at the top of the period, it's intensive. It's only for those last resorts. But the nurturing and responsive relationships are going on all the time in your classroom. When we think about Joshua, like I said, it's probably not the first time that this problem has happened. And so we want to make sure that we're setting Joshua up for success every day. We want to have conversations with him. Talk to his family. Talk to him. What does he like about quiet time? What does he do for nap time at home? What does he dislike about nap time at school? Is he scared? Is he lonely? Is he bored? We want to have these conversations with the family, just informally, but also talk to Joshua at different points of the day. Just when you're hanging out, playing blocks, or you read a story about nap time, see if you can find out what is the problem or the root that's going on here, and letting him see that it's not a bad time of day. Um, Also, we want to nurture Joshua, and we want to get him ready when it is nap time each day. So one of those things is we want to let him know it's coming, and this may or may not work for him depending on his anxiety, but giving him that heads up that hey, in a little bit it's going to be nap time, and we want to have a good nap time today, Joshua. Also, when we speak to Joshua, we want to make sure we get down on his level. We want to be eye to eye with him. He's not coming up to your eye level, so you're going to need to get down on your knees and talk to him. And also, there's a good chance that he will benefit from physical reassurance. So, holding his hand, patting his back, something that shows him that you're interested in it being a good, successful day for him. And that's the basis behind level one. It really doesn't even involve nap time as much as the other parts of the day. And when we move on to level two, and then we have our high quality and supportive environments, we are going to look a little more specifically at the nap time environment. So, what would set Joshua up for success? Hopefully, those conversations have told you more about Joshua's anxiety. Is it fear? Is he afraid to go to sleep? Does he not like the dark? Is he miss his family or his mom or his dad? Is he too active and doesn't like to take a nap? Those are the things we want to know before we get to level two, so we can create an environment that's going to support that. If he doesn't like the dark, we want to move him to a window where there might be a little more light. If he is bored, we might want to give him some books or quiet activities to have on his mat. If he's missing his family or scared, we might want to allow him to bring in a blanket or a stuffed animal or a photograph of his family. Or we might need an adult that's going to lay down beside him and rub his back or whatever it takes. We need to support that emotional environment that gets him ready for success. Another suggestion might be he goes with another teacher into a different room for the start of nap time, and then we gently ease him in. Level three is where you have something very specific and targeted. And some of the things from level two will carry over into level three. But this is where we also might look at, would he benefit from being right beside his friend? You notice in the video he really wants to be with Wyatt. Is that because he wants to play with Wyatt, or is that because Wyatt is a comfort to him? This is where we might need to make an exception. And we find in schools that exceptions sometimes cause problems because not everyone gets the exception. But what I teach students is when you need something special, you'll get something special. And when someone else needs it, it's their turn. So if he needs Wyatt and Wyatt is okay with that, and they can be respectful and go to sleep, then that may be a modification that we make. We also, at this point, might want to look specifically at some rewards. And that's where we're going to move from level three into our intensive intervention. If everything else you've tried, if you find out why he is upset, but nothing makes it better, then we need to have a conference with the family and we need to figure out what we're going to do. Does that mean he doesn't take a nap? He goes and does something else? Does that mean he's allowed to have a quiet time in a different area? Does that mean we have some sort of sticker or reward chart that if he makes it 1 day, 2 days, whatever it is, that he gets rewarded at school or even at home? It really is going to be that at that point you sit down and you brainstorm together, because this is not conducive to a good relationship with the teachers, and for Joshua either. So many of you mentioned some of these in your answer, but it wasn't quite the building up in the levels. And some of you validated what the teacher was doing. I don't think the teacher was doing a horrible job, but I really don't think she was problem solving in any way. I think she was more playing traffic cop. And when you are that teacher of that child, if you want it to go away and get better for everyone, you have to do more than just police his area and make him stay. That works for 1 day, but that's not going to fix this problem. And this pyramid approach looks at how do we take these situations, find out why they're happening, and remediate it so it just isn't a quick fix, it's a permanent solution. So thank you for those of you that shared ideas, and for those of you that didn't quite understand, I hope this clarifies for you what the pyramid approach looks like and how you can apply it to any kind of situation.